Oh, right. So today's bite-sized marketing piece is all about why you need a CRM system. Yep. Software, whatever you want to call it. I have made some notes, so I am going to be glancing down, but just to make sure I don't forget anything in terms of sharing what I know about a CRM system. Now, let's start by saying that CRM, it stands for Customer Relationship Management. And that, I guess, sort of sums it up. I would say that the main reason why your business needs a CRM system is organization, right? It's a way in which you can organize lots of workflow, clients, databases, marketing campaigns, websites, statistics, analytics. It really does bring everything in. I'm not going to dwell on those individual parts. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reel off a number of sort of benefits of a CRM system. I'm going to keep referring to it as CRM, not Customer Relationship Management System. And then I'll be doing a summary. So if you're taking notes, there'll be a deeper dive onto some of these points as we go through. So the main reason, in my opinion, is organization. It really can bring everything together. And these systems aren't just for larger companies. I would say that everyone from a one-person band all the way up to big multinationals all do need, and most of them do use, a CRM system. It also helps you manage your accounts, okay, with your customers. It allows you to keep a database, if you like, of who your main contact is, what their email address is, what their but years ago when I used to do a salesy role, we had customer cards where we had to physically write, the name of the account, who was the main point of contact there. And you would have like a little box for notes where you could write down, keen cyclist or enjoys angling or whatever it was, or has a wife and 2 kids and these are their names, which allows you to sort of, be prepared. You can look at your notes before you go into the meeting and have a refresher, if you like, on being a little bit more personal about how you tailor your conversation. And that's going to be important coming up. So marketing, your communications with your current customers and your potential customers, your sort of leads. It's a great way of managing lead generation within your business. It allows you to streamline your processes. So I'm sure that if you haven't got a CRM system, most of your processes are manual. I'm going to say paper-based, but they may be computer-based, but somebody needs to be in charge of pulling those processes together or managing them. Looking at the behaviors of your customers, when was the last time you communicated with them? Or have you got an outstanding quote currently with them? Just as a couple of examples there in terms of behaviors, but also, behaviors of people that come to your websites. You can pull out some analytics there and sort of see what their dwell time is, where they've interacted on your site and where they've left your site. It all adds to being allowed to it all adds to you being able to improve the dwell time on your website, as an example. You can track those interactions. It's basically a huge reporting system, right? It really does. If you like data, you need to be getting yourself a CRM system. And the detail of the analytics, depending on which CRM you use, it can be overwhelming, actually. And I'll come on to that a little bit later. But certainly using the reports that are there to give you the insights that you need into your customers, their behaviors, their demographics, all of that sort of jazz is important. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive now over the next sort of 20 minutes or so into some of those key points. Right, so let's talk about a few examples of what's out there in terms of CRMs in the marketplace. So I would say the global leaders, the two big brands that are out there, and look, we can have an argument about like the Microsofts and the Oracles of this world, but you've got Salesforce, who I think would say that they're the number one out there, and you've also got SAP. They're also a very big CRM system. I would say that both of those brands are well positioned for your corporates or your multinationals. Although I do know that Salesforce can be tailored for a smaller operation. Okay, but generally that's their main big market, and that's where they sort of excel. In terms of the SME market, some of the big players are Monday.com, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Zoho, Zendesk, and then there is a plethora. If you're playing buzzword bingo, you can tick that one off. There is a plethora of other options out there. Do your research. If you go online and search for top 10 CRM systems, you're likely to get a different 10 mentioned in each of the posts that you actually look at. But have a look and see what's going to be best for your needs. In terms of prices, they do vary. What I would say about, I'm not going to mention some and what they cost, but some charge you per user. So if you have a number of people within your organization, sort of take that on board as the prices can sort of add up. But others actually offer like a free light version. So you can get started for no money or next to no money. The average amount I would suspect that you are going to be paying is about £10 a month. Okay, $10, $15 a month for a subscription. On average, okay, look into the one that's best for you. The one thing I would advocate, though, is that you get your CRM system tailored for your needs. Now, when they come out of the box, as it were, it comes with like everything and almost comes with nothing, as it were, right? Each person's business is going to be different. So, you know, if you're a retail specialist, it's going to be different to if you're offering personal services, as it were. So, personal services, professional. Yeah, you need a CRM if you offer personal services, but professional services is what I mean. If you've lasted 9 minutes into this webinar, there we are. There's a bit of fun for you. So yeah, get it tailored. There are specialists out there who are experts within the particular CRM that they deal with, and they will be able to have an in-depth meeting with you, find out your requirements, and then tailor that system so that it works best for you. Right, let's have some water first of all, or else I might die of dehydration. Let's look at some of the key points, some of the key benefits as to why you do need a CRM system. So the first one I would say is having a centralized database. That's one of the lovely things about a CRM system. No more Excel spreadsheets being updated by different people at different times. No paper. You can actually pull everything onto this digital sort of platform. And also it cuts down on the unnecessary communication within departments. So one of the really handy things about a good CRM system is that everyone can access the information. That said, you can limit who can access different bits of information. Everything's tailored, it is able to be tailored within a CRM system. So one of the nice things, if you like, is if you've got an operations or a sales department loading quotes onto a system, you can have the finance department that are able to sort of dip in and have a look at that. You can look at the forecasting. Excuse me. It really does. I mean, one of the nice things, if you like, about what I do as a living is with some of my customers where they have a CRM system, I'm able remotely to access the bit that I need to look at in terms of progressing their sales funnel. So it is a really good way of allowing everybody to see at what stage of the sales process somebody is, or even just to get better internal comms between you. So you can load in something within, say, a sales funnel, then someone else within the team can access that and understand where that prospect is within the sales funnel, and that maybe trigger another action to happen. Better customer service. All right, the whole thing holds your contacts, the sales, even the emails, and all of the data related to that one particular account. So it's a really easy way to access, if you like, the file on that particular account. You can look at the people that are involved within the operation, because sometimes different people deal with different people from different parts of a business, right? So it definitely allows you to hold lots of information, and then that then allows you to be so much more specific and targeted when you're looking to communicate with them. So you can see the last time that a customer was emailed, maybe about a quote, and then you can be really accurate about your follow-up. Or if someone's found out some new information about a client or a product or service, that can be added within the notes section so that someone picking things up. Let's say somebody's on holiday and you need someone to pick up the reins whilst they're away. They're able to look at the CRM system and get a real clear understanding of exactly what's what and who was communicated with who at what particular time, who or whom. I've written down here increased sales, and then in brackets I put potentially, right? This is no guarantee that you're going to increase your sales, but God, it does allow you to build a framework in order to be more efficient with, let's say your sales funnel as an example. So it allows you to form buckets, if you like, where you can pour your leads in, and the more times you interact with them, you can move them through the funnel. And again, it allows you to be a lot more accurate and specific about the people that you're getting in touch with. So let's say that you've got a funnel where you're connecting with people on social media, or you're emailing people on a regular basis. You can have a quick glance at that particular target or the particular lead and pull off some information that may be relevant. Maybe they offer a service that's complementary to the type of service that you offer, and maybe that's a way that you're going to get that meeting or get that sales call or whatever it is that you're actually driving to do. So it allows you to sort of build that pipeline and track it, and it really does allow you to have better communication with your potential sales. Also, you can look specifically at previous sales history. Maybe you're seeing a pattern forming when your customers do come in and buy. So you could set up a trigger for a specific time of the year. Let's say someone only buys with you right at Christmas, right? Maybe then you can tailor your email or your interaction or your newsletter or however it is that in any which way that you do communicate with them, to be able to prompt them, hey, we know that you bought this last year. How about this new improved version, or whatever it may be. Customer retention, I've mentioned it slightly there. So looking at emails, looking at newsletters, looking at special offers, and even integration into your website. So, this is not just about people that are on your database and communicating with them, people or businesses on your database, but it's also about maybe integrating your CRM system into the back end of your website, especially if you've got, a sales portal on your website. It'll allow you to track your customer's journey and to see how they got to you. So say, as an example, you've got a blog on your website. With the right sort of setup, you can see that people have landed on your website via a particular blog. They've then moved through to look at something else on your website, and maybe they filled out a contact form and actually got in touch with you. So you can see how they found their way to you inbound, right? And maybe you start writing more blogs about that subject so you can capture more people to come to you naturally. Yeah, so customer retention is really important. It allows you to build regular comms. And what I'm going to say here about this as well is the majority of it is free, right? Email marketing, newsletters, you know, those sort of contacts, they are free for you to do pretty much. I mean, you may have a MailChimp account, whatever, but it's extremely low cost touch points for your customers. The other thing is data protection. Now, I know you're all up on your GDPR, right? But you shouldn't be holding personal data locally on your computer within your office, all right? It needs to be secure. And by using a reputable, we've got to say, CRM system, that will give you the opportunity to store your data securely offsite. We're not going to go into GDPR, but again, that obviously helps. Data, and I'm going to say writing reports. If there's one thing that CRM systems do, it allows you, if you're data hungry, right? If you're a bean counter, blimey, you can take a deep dive into a CRM system and find out all sorts of wonderful things. Not just personal data, you know, it's not just functional data. You can look at the open rates in terms of emails that you send out, the sort of click rate, the click-through rates, the bounce rates from your website. It allows you to sort of grab the knowledge. You know, we all know knowledge is power. So it allows you to grab that knowledge, and then you can tailor it for a much better experience with your consumers. I personally think that probably data and the reports that can be generated from the data is one of the very top reasons that you would want a good CRM system. Here's another one for you: automation. Allowing some automated triggers to happen within your sort of sales process. So let's say someone contacts you, they'd like a quote. You send the quote out. Now within your CRM system, you've got everybody's details. It's got a log as to when that quote was actually sent. You can put an automated trigger in there that at a certain time, let's say a week after you've sent your quote, it'll send a follow-up email saying, "Hi, Mr. So-and-so, we sent you a quote last week. We're just wondering if anything has happened with us." And the same with invoices. It'll allow invoice triggering as well. So it really does allow for automation to happen within your communications so that you never forget. Following the customer's journey, I think we've mentioned that already. You know, it really does allow you to identify inbound customers through inbound marketing, or customers that have been activated through your outbound marketing. So we all get very sort of entrenched in the fact that everything has gone digital these days, but traditional direct mail or sending somebody something through the post, you know, a little sort of a letter, dare I say, can be very effective now ways of cutting through. So this system, a CRM system, will allow you to track any traditional direct mail. So, you know, inbound marketing, yes, people coming to you through the content that you've created, but also allows you to track the outbound marketing functions as well. Segmentation. So you can segment your customers or your products or your services on your system as well. And that will enable you to drive different messages to different customers. Maybe you've got different products and customers that use different products. This will allow you to segment your customer database on a similar level, which will allow you to have more relevant communication for their needs. Right, okay, I'm going to take one more swig and then I'm going to do a little summary for you. Whew, sure is hot. So if you've got your pen and paper handy, these are the sort of the top, I've got top 6 tips in terms of why you need a CRM system. Better knowledge about your customers. Better segmentation of your customers, products or services. Better data protection. Better communication, and I'm going to say maybe even free communication with your customers. Better customer retention and better potential sales. And much better internal communications. Better internal communications, stroke reporting, or interacting between different departments. It really does pull the business together. So there we go. There's a bite-sized marketing webinar all about why I think you need a CRM system, customer relationship management.